Happy holidays from the Better Each Day podcast radio show. This is host Bruce Hilliard with the latest and greatest episode, this one featuring apps. The app called TribeFluence. It's brand new. Check it out. I was recently at the mall in Seattle, and I noticed no matter how many things that are going on around us, we're all staring at our phones. So I wrote and recorded this here song, my latest, Doesn't Anybody Fall in Love No More. I hope you like it.
There ain't no human touch, no communication. People get together, they're still all alone. Everybody's staring at their phones. I need a number, I'll give you a call and say, hey, what's going on? I got a feeling, I don't know, doesn't anybody fall in love no more? No, doesn't anybody fall in love no more? Oh, no, doesn't anybody fall in love no question. If you've got the time, you got a minute, I got a dime. I'm reaching out just one more time, so many miles away. Find me a number, I'll give you a call and say, hey, what's going on? I got a feeling, I don't know, doesn't anybody fall in love no more? Doesn't anybody fall in love no more? No, doesn't anybody fall in love no more? Doesn't anybody fall in love no more? No, doesn't anybody fall in love no more? Doesn't anybody fall in love no more?
Are you big on Instagram and other social media platforms? Do you want your business or brand to be seen? Do you want to bundle your traditional advertising services with the fastest growing advertising sector? TribeFluence, a top-ranked app for influencer marketing, does all that. How? Well, listen up. Founder Johnny Vieira gave me the rundown on it. His app makes everybody money.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. It's called TribeFluence, basically combining tribe, a group of people, with the word influence, without the IN, TribeFluence. It is an app that connects brands, anybody that's got something to advertise, with social media, primarily Instagram influencers. And I'm sure people are well aware of influencers from just watching Kardashians, things like that. Those Kardashian girls or the Jenner sisters are your top influencers. Mm-hmm. But there's many, and I mean many, hundreds of thousands of popular people on Instagram and other platforms, primarily Instagram, that have a large following, that are influential people. And this is an actual real business model now where they will sort of post things on their wall, as a form of advertisement. So my app, selects these influencers. They sign up to TribeFluence through their Instagram account. So everything is completely verified. We capture their credentials, and they're logged onto TribeFluence through their Instagram. We have them signed up in different categories. You would choose one of 30 categories, things like hair and makeup, or health and fitness, or foodie, restaurant, parenting, baby, bridal. There's about 30 what we feel are popular categories. And these are the same categories that an advertiser would log on to on the advertising side of the platform, and they would choose what category their product or their brand fits in. And then at the same time, we've got the influencers already logged in, ready to share their posts. And what we do is we assemble many of those influencers, a tribe of influencers, hence the name TribeFluence. We connect, we put a group of influencers together so that this group will give the brand a real big following, as opposed to what was happening in the old days a couple of years ago. A brand would have to chase down one big influencer and maybe deal with their agent and have to negotiate. We took all of that out of the process, and a user, an advertiser, is able to come on and put their product on, and within, I would say, 10 or 15 minutes could have a team of influencers, a tribe of influencers promoting their product within minutes. So we're thinking we've disrupted that sort of process.
So how does this apply to musicians?
Well, that's a great question, and I get this sometimes, and I think I get this mostly, for two reasons. One, I come out of the music industry. I'm still in the music business, and originally when I created TribeFluence, I thought, well, why don't I have something where an artist can go on there with their product, a song or a concert date or whatever, and then other, music influencers in the area would then be able to share their post. So it didn't take long for me to realize, well, wait, if I've got this tool working for musicians who are promoting their song or their show, or just want to put the word out about their website or social media, I figured, why not add these other categories, which later got added. But when you see the original video, if you go to www.TribeFluenceApp.com, you'll see our main video. And the first thing the main video does, that explains the app, is it shows that musician example of, hey, you got a song you want to promote, why not use, this app? So that's kind of the tie-in between the two, and I've got basically one foot in the music industry still, because that's been my history for the past 15 years, and my more recent foot has stepped into the startup tech world with this mobile app.
So the term influencer marketing is relatively new. What exactly does that mean?
Yes, I would say this term's probably been around for a few years, but absolutely, influencer marketing is just the idea that rather than, an ad, or I'm sure you recall banner ads or different links that people would use to put up on a website. That used to be the old form of digital marketing, and over the last few years, marketing, professionals have realized that if somebody who's popular on a platform, again, we're mostly talking about Instagram, although that'll start to grow and change. If there's a person who is popular on Instagram talking, let's say, about makeup all the time, well, they're very influential to their followers who follow them for makeup tips or what have you, where to get great deals on makeup or how to apply. So that Instagram user is very influential to their following, hence the word influencer.
So it's an endorsement type concept.
Absolutely, yes. They found that with followers following somebody that they like, let's take a Kylie Jenner, who I believe that's the Jenner girl with the makeup line. Many of the people following her, it's not only liking her and thinking she's pretty and it's also following her for her makeup tips and what new lines of makeup she has coming out. So that Jenner has a lot of influence over her followers. And again, those are sort of your top tier of influencers, are your sort of celebrity influencers. There's many type of different influencers. My app focuses primarily on what they call micro influencers, which basically means rather than having, 1 million followers and being a bit of a celebrity influencer and being very expensive, there are many people who are in the, let's say they have 5,000, maybe up to about 50,000 followers who follow them. These people are still influential. It's just on a bit of a lower scale. And TribeFluence pools together a tribe or several of these people, anywhere from 5 influencers up to 50, depending on what the advertiser is purchasing. And that's the focus of my app. Usually the sweet spot is the influencer with around 5 to maybe 50,000 followers. Doesn't mean we don't have influencers up in the 100 to 500,000 follower range, but again, we focus primarily on using influencers because we aggregate a tribe of them, a group of them, in that sweet spot. And that term is a relatively new term as well, called micro-influencer.
Well, besides Instagram, what other social media platforms have surfaced as having the most return on investment for marketers?
Well, that's a great question.
Well, you're saying it's going to expand beyond Instagram, I guess, logically.
Oh, yeah. No. The only reason why I say that is I just watched a documentary last night on Tinder and dating apps, and it was saying how much money these apps make. This has nothing to do with influencer marketing. It was just talking about the money they generate. Excuse me. As far as what other platforms do I think will have the most return for influencer marketing, I don't think anything is going to beat Instagram. We probably, I'd say by mid-2019, early 19, we'll probably roll out a Twitter version. But for some reason, Instagram just really seems to naturally be built for this kind of influencer marketing. There's just something about the culture and the community on Instagram that really seems to be a fit. So there will be other platforms rolled out. I don't think anything will ever top Instagram. It's just the top, and Instagram, I believe, is the top app as it stands.
Wow, that's interesting. What makes TribeFluence stand out?
Oh, that's super easy. TribeFluence is the only app of its kind that does this tribe of influencer building. Every other platform, there's several other influencer marketing apps out there. None of them do what we do with collecting a group. In fact, our slogan is the power of the tribe. There's no other app that does what ours does. We, first off, you need to sign up onto TribeFluence through your Instagram account. So everything's verified. There's not just random numbers that people are putting in. You're signed in to TribeFluence through your Instagram account. So that really offers the advertisers a lot of confidence in knowing these are all real influencers with real numbers, real statistics. And also our app is the only one that pulls together a number of influencers so that there's more power, and it's a positive thing in multiple ways. One, you've got more than one influencer sharing your advertisement or post. And also, two, it's much more cost effective because these influencers that have smaller followings, these micro influencers, they're not used to getting paid as much. So they're usually willing to get paid less, giving the advertiser that's using them a bigger bang for their buck. So it's certainly the only one that's pulling together a group of influencers, and this is all automated through the app.
So in a world of anything goes on the internet sometimes, and you always hear the term fake news and whatnot, this really strives to have credibility, it sounds like. You really put that in the forefront.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. We knew we would have a slower growth model by asking the influencers to sign up through their Instagram account. These people usually guard this stuff with their life. And even though we don't actually we don't hold on to their credentials, they do have to sign up through Instagram. So when they're on TribeFluence, their Instagram statistics show at any one time. So if they've got, let's say, 5,000 followers, their 5,000 followers are showing up on our TribeFluence backend admin panel. And if they were to add 1,000 users over a month, we now see that this influencer has grown and they've got 6,000. It automatically pulls in their new information when it comes to their statistics. At the same time, if I don't know how this would happen, if somehow the influencer just suddenly deleted all their use, suddenly they're now down to 5 people following them, we would know that too. And obviously, chances are we wouldn't be sending them much work if they lost all their following. So, yes, we're constantly checking the data, making sure these are all valid followers, and we make sure that we're keeping our quality influencers active. And when I say quality, we tend to give the influencers more work that have active accounts where they're consistently posting great content and getting solid likes and comments about their content that they're posting. We check that constantly, and we're always looking to give those influencers more work. And when we have someone sign up on the app that has an absolute, just a very, I tend to use the word like a dud account. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say words like a fake account or a dummy, because you never know. If someone just created an Instagram account and does nothing with it, but they signed up onto TribeFluence, chances are we'll be removing their account usually within a day or two. We constantly try to clean up our admin panel where our influencers sign up to make sure that we've got quality influencers there.
So the deadbeats get thrown out then. That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like
I don't...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It sounds like a really cool business model to me. I think you're really onto something great. What musicians have you worked with?
Well, I don't have that information in front of me. We've probably worked with as many musicians as anybody else. I'm sorry, did you mean what musicians have I worked with on the app, or me personally?
Well, on the app. And I can edit this out so it doesn't sound like we got all confused.
I'll answer that question in two ways. On the app, we don't really don't have that information. It's not like I have a list in front of me.
Okay.
We do see a lot of musicians coming on, as we do, have just as many hair and makeup people coming on. But I myself, as a producer, that was my main line of work, managing and producing artists, pretty much focused, for whatever reasons, don't ask me why, it's been a giant headache, but I focus mostly on these sort of female pop artists, people like Vanessa Hudgens I was responsible for, who's now mostly an actress, Janelle Parrish, again, mostly an actress. It does seem that many of these triple threats that I used to work with, triple threats meaning someone who could kind of sing, dance, do multiple talents, it does seem that most of them that I launched, the careers I launched, it does appear that most of them has gone into more of their acting world and leave the music behind, which is probably the safe bet. The music industry has been extremely volatile. And let's face it, if you can both act in movies and sing, you're probably going to lean on where's the safer bet, unless you're an absolute true musician, and those, the kind of musician that has to play and to their audience and has to write records. Obviously, that type of musician doesn't have that dual career going. But I've definitely worked with rock and pop artists, many hip hop artists. In fact, I've just signed a new act. I can't really talk about it. They're gonna be the next 21 Pilots, 2 young guys out of Albany, New York. I'm real excited about. I've got a female singer-songwriter named Brianna Kennedy. She's in Nashville writing songs. I'm working on a couple other things that I really can't talk about. I don't want to jinx it anyways, but
okay.
I keep myself fairly busy.
This question comes up a lot. What are the most challenging aspects of building a music career in the digital age? Kind of tough.
It's a good question, and it's a bit misleading. The artist nowadays needs to absolutely focus on their craft. All the other stuff, besides, of course, using an app like TribeFluence to promote yourself, besides that type of thing, they really should focus on their craft. Some artists think they need to build up their Twitter follower or build up their Instagram account. And I think they got it backwards. It's a bit of the tail wagging the dog. The nowadays, the modern day artist, musician needs to make sure their content is great. Once they've got solid content, the users will come and they'll have a much stronger online presence. But people get a little twisted and think maybe they could first build up some kind of a following and that will get them a record deal. It's not the case. The other good thing about digital world is the artists now can go ahead and release their music on things like Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal. They can go ahead and do that all on their own. And that gives them an edge of what artists, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, could not do that. 15 years ago, you would need a label to distribute your music. Now artists can self-distribute. So there's certainly some good things and some bad things. One of the more negative sides about the digital world affecting music and artists is now everybody, the bar to enter has been lowered. So now everybody can practically make music on a shoestring budget and put it out. So the artists really have to step up their game if they want to be noticed.
So it's become somewhat of an amateur hour type situation.
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a lot of solid talent, but yes, amateur hour.
What you're describing is, create the very best music you possibly can, and then go from there. It's more of a if you build it, they will come aspect. But depending on who you listen to, the internet and all the social media and everything is the answer all to everything. I've never personally felt that way, so thank you for reinforcing what I was thinking to be the case. You've just got you got to be damn good, is what it is.
You got to be damn good to stand out from the rest of the crowd, because the rest of the crowd has grown exponentially. Now you've got millions of other artists on the internet. So, you better be good if you want to stand out from that big of a crowd.
What's the best piece of advice you'd give to a working musician on how to utilize your app? I could spit that out.
Well, I would say probably the best way is before reaching to my app would be your listeners are more than welcome to contact me. I've got a music consulting company called Vieira Media Consulting, and that's primarily what I do is help artists. I help find what is missing in their career. Because I come from a songwriting and producing background, sometimes I'll get involved in helping with their music, making it better. We can help with music videos. Obviously, with my background in social media and with the app, we can help promote them. By the way, my app, as of today, has a reach of about 71 million people.
Wow.
So I pull in my app for promotion, and I'm assuming you can put up my my contact info on how your listeners can reach out to me.
Absolutely.
I would say that would probably be the best thing to do before they just go onto the app and do some promotion. Probably give us a call or an email, and I'm sure we can help some of your listeners out.
Well, Johnny, I'm definitely setting up all your links on my show notes, and I'm about out of time, but I really want to thank you, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. Same here on my end. Thank you so much.
All right. I wish you the best. Take care. I will leave links for Johnny Vieira and the TribeFluence app on the Better Each Day podcast radio show website. And for now, boys and girls, over and out.
Listening to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. We'll be back with a new horizon, but until then, honor the future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee.
And we're all just trying to make the next day a bit better.